All right, today's video is going to be a very important one, in my opinion. If you're a pet owner whose pet is, getting late on in years or may have already been diagnosed with some serious health issues, if they have a serious disease, or if you're just facing, unfortunately, what is clearly starting to become the end of their life, and you need to start really thinking with your heart and your mind about what decisions need to be made in terms of end of life care for them, and if you have to make a final decision to let them go peacefully. First of all, I want to remind you that the word euthanasia means a good death. So if you are able to provide that to your pet to ease their pain, to prevent them from future pain, as hard as it is, these are things that you need to consider. So if you've reached that point, I would strongly recommend you get opinions from a variety of vets. And what I mean by that, let me distinguish what I mean. Your doctors of veterinary medicines, your, for lack of a better description, brick and mortar vets. You probably have a primary vet. So obviously, listen to their guidance, their counsel, because they're also probably the ones who may have helped you make some decisions in terms of treatment, medicines, things like that. If your animal is suffering from a disease, and how you can possibly try to heal them, or at least prolong the life in a way that's most comfortable and provides the best quality of life for them. I've done a lot of work with mobile euthanasia providers. Obviously, they are on the front lines with pet parents as they say goodbye and say farewell to their pets. And obviously the work that I do, the program that I've created, kind of picks up after that point in how to help grieving pet owners heal from that loss and to move forward. So in all of my conversations with both your standard DVMs, your standard veterinarians, and then with the mobile euthanasia providers, I was surprised at what I found to be kind of a stark difference of opinions in terms of how they would approach end-of-life care for animals, especially determining when a decision should be humanely made, when to continue medicine and treatments, which can not only be difficult on the pet, but also may be very expensive and may not really achieve the result or the outcome that is fair for the pet. I kept hearing the word, what is most natural. I was surprised that a lot of the mobile euthanasia providers had that kind of approach, saying that sometimes, even though it contradicts our best intentions and our best wishes, sometimes it's better not to intervene with nature. And if an animal's health is failing, that instead of trying to throw on all best attempts at modern medicine, sometimes it may be best, it may be the most loving thing to figure out how to keep them comfortable, and be there with them so that they suffer the least amount in their final days. So I was just very surprised when I've been speaking to different animal medical professionals, to see that there was kind of a really different opinion in those two distinct roles. Your primary caregiver, your DVMs, your vets that are at clinics, versus those that provide end-of-life care directly with families and with pets. So I would recommend, if you find yourself in that difficult time, just do yourself a favor and maybe make a couple extra phone calls, just so you feel comfortable, you feel empowered, you feel that you've really kind of, taken a full gauge of insight on what is best for you, your family, and your pet. So I would, it also may help you in terms of kind of making final arrangements for when that day comes to speak to euthanasia specific providers. And now in the U.S., there's tons of mobile euthanasia providers who that's all they do. And those are some very heroic individuals that I've had the pleasure of getting to know from all across the country, who are there for families in that very difficult time. And they're some of the most loving, compassionate individuals I've had the pleasure of speaking with. But they have I was surprised to see somewhat of a different opinion on, when is right, what to do. And so I just, wanted to throw that out there. If you find yourself in that situation where you need to start asking yourself, some difficult questions, some questions built on love and necessity. But I would just say, please try to get, as much insight and opinions and counsel as you can. But I was surprised to find somewhat different approaches and different feedback from vets that were in clinics in comparison to those who actually provided that final service, and that's all that they did. And yeah, anything else that I can help with, please, like and subscribe to these videos. Hopefully, you get some value out of everything that I've done, all the work that I've done with grieving pet parents, not only helping people appreciate the lives they share with their pets while they're with us, but how to move on with grace and how to heal with love once we've had to say farewell. Thank you.